Hello, my loves. I'm laughing at my hair. Welcome back to the Wild Feminine Way podcast. Today's message is, I'm reading my notes over here because I got a channel message to share. The mess is what creates the miracles. It is time to let go of the old. And I'm also going to be sharing more vulnerable things in today's podcast. If you listen to Friday's podcast, you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't remember the name of it, but it was something about raw, messy money, business, share, and I can't remember what else, so you can go back and listen to it. This hair is a celebration of letting it be messy. So without further ado, let's dive in. Grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a water, and let's go. Just take a breath with me for a second, my loves. Oh, and just like shake out as I jiggle all over. Love it. It's beautiful. Not judging myself, just saying. I just feel like there's like old energy that needs to be released and come into your body. It is the Cancer new moon today. Happy Cancer new moon. Let me just move this phone so I don't get distracted. Hang on, I just lost my train of thought. I have personally been releasing majorly today, and my day has felt like a mess. Like, I wanted to go to the beach this morning before it got super hot outside, which now happens at like 9 o'clock in the morning here in my hometown. And then my dad was using his truck. I don't have a car at the moment because I sold it to move to San Diego last year. So, couldn't go to the beach. Then, when he got back, I tried to go to the beach, and it was so hot. Like, it's almost like 100 degrees here with the heat index. And even though I've lived in hot places, I am sensitive to heat, like extreme heat. Like, when I lived in Hawaii and California, that kind of heat was fine to me. But here in my hometown in South Carolina, it's like a whole other, I want to get the flowers in, level of humid. If you've ever been in the South, you'll get it. Anyways, so couldn't really go walk at the beach because I felt like I was going to pass out because it was so hot. So I drove around, and then I was praying, talking to the angels, crying, releasing all morning. And this is, I'm going to explain to you in a minute why I'm telling you this story. And then I started getting downloads while I was driving. And I personally felt super exhausted with this energy. So I was just like, I don't even know what I want to do today. And just like purging and releasing so many things. And then I got the download to do this episode. It's already a lot of things that I had planned on talking more about this week, but there was like more to add to it. So yeah, the energies are a lot right now, and I'm going to look at my notes because there's some things that came through. So as I always talk about with astrology and anything that comes up, there's always an invitation. I talked about this in my, what did I call it? I think I just called it like my Alchemy guide. It's here on my podcast on my YouTube as well. And anytime we have shit that comes up, whether it's new moon, full moon, astrologically related or not, it's always an invitation. So I already said that. This morning, some of the things that I was crying about, and by the way, when I share things that I'm going through, it's not the intention is never to like, oh, feel bad for me, or I'm sharing this from a victim space. It's to be vulnerable and share my mess so that you know that you're not alone. And also because when I used to go through these things before I now have the tools that I had, I didn't know how to alchemize stuff, and stuff just felt heavy, and I felt like I was drowning in all that I was feeling. So in case that's you, that's why I'm passionate about sharing. So I had some financial fuckery triggers earlier this week. I had to call all of my credit card companies because, as I shared in last episode, yeah, I did share this, I lost my main source of income earlier this year, which, by the way, should be this week. My losing everything story should be coming this week. I'm saying should be because I get so many downloads all the time, and all of my creations have a birthing process of their own. But I'm going to be talking about more of that loss stuff and that story. So subscribe so that you can listen to that. It'll be called I Lost Everything Because I Was Disconnected from My Feminine Energy. And a lot of my loss story from this, because there's been a couple of times this year, wasn't necessarily because of that, but I'll talk more about it in the upcoming episode. I'm going all over the place. So I had to call all these credit cards because they may go to collections, and from losing my main source of income and all that. And then I was like, fuck this fucking shit. I am choosing a new motherfucking reality. I'm choosing a new motherfucking reality. And sometimes it's easy to just settle or stay stuck or not believe that more is possible, because when we go through these deep losses, which I'm going to talk more about why this happens in a minute, because it's not just like God trying to punish you. You didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, I'm getting passionate about that because that's one of my favorite topics. I lost my train of thought again. 1 minute. My brain is sleepy today with this energy. Sometimes when we go through these things, it can be hard to believe. But I was just like, I don't give a flying fuck. I am not settling anymore. I've had all other kinds of fucking things that have happened this year, like my phone getting turned off and just all kinds of fucking things that I never thought would happen. I used to teach money manifestation. I had a 6-figure business. I knew and know how to do all these fucking things. But I took this as an opportunity to be like, no, I'm not fucking settling anymore. I'm claiming my new fucking reality. I'm claiming my financial fucking miracles. I don't know how. I don't know where it's going to come from. Especially, side tangent for me, I tried to apply for jobs for over a year. Still haven't gotten a job. And I'm still rebuilding my spiritual business. The main source of income that I lost earlier this year was the residual income that I was making from my prior network marketing business, which I did stop that business in 2019, but I was still getting paid residual income that paid most of my bills. And I had had that income since 2012. So there's just like a little sneak peek so that you know about it. And yeah, I'll share more of whatever I'm guided to on the upcoming episode like I talked about. Dang, I lost my train of thought again, y'all. Okay, so I stopped looking at all this evidence of the past things that have happened and allowing that to dictate my fucking reality. And that's the big invitation, I feel like, with the title of this video, The Mess is What Creates the Miracles. It's time to let go of the old. Because I've been talking about this for a while, the old way of doing business, of doing money, it doesn't fucking work anymore. And that is why things are being dismantled and crumbling down. And Goddess Kali is a big part of that. I have an excerpt from a book that I am going to read in a minute for you. But that's why things are happening. You haven't gotten anything wrong, okay? Where's the camera? I'm trying to like give you like a hug from your big sister. I might not be older than you, but your sister. You haven't fucked it up. The mess is what creates the miracles. I feel like my guides want to say that again. So whatever your current circumstances are, whether you're going through some financial fuckery, some love fuckery, whatever it is, how can you alchemize that? How can you stop letting what's happened in the past dictate what is available to you now? Because things can happen like this. I can't snap. That's what I'm hearing. Things can change overnight. They can change in a fucking second. Now, this happened to me on Monday. I made that declaration, like, no, my fucking credit cards aren't going to go to collections. No, I'm fucking declaring this fucking reality now. And that's been a few days. It depends on what you're manifesting, but it can take longer times for things to come in. But earlier this year when I was in San Diego, my second place that I was in, I was not happy in that place. It was like a last minute miracle, honestly, that I manifested, that I found, because my original place that I was going to go to stay with a friend for free, since I hadn't been able to get a job after searching forever, that fell through last minute. So I manifested this place in downtown where it was cheap. I could pay daily. It was just what I needed. But I was not happy in that place. And I'm not trying to sound stuck up bitch when I say this, but like, I'm used to a certain standard of living, and that just wasn't my standard. But I know that I went through all of that. Like, I would cry almost every day and be like, God, please help me get out of this house. Please help me get out of here. Like, I'm a big bath person, and I would have never taken a bath in that bathroom. Not to be judgmental, but it was disgusting no matter how much I cleaned it. This is not meant to judge the person. That was just my perception, and I was just miserable there. I cried every day and said, God, please help me to get out of here. Ironically, that was when, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself from what I want to talk about next time. Maybe we're meant to talk about it here. But that was when I ended up, let me pause for a second because I'm trying to keep concise everything that's coming out. Okay, I'm going to try to bullet point it. I'm an open book, but I like to keep things concise as possible, but I also like to talk a lot. So I have shared several times that my business has made more sales than it has in the last 4 years this year. That is reality. But the financial fuckery of all the other things that have been happening has also been my reality, like I said, after losing my main source of income. So my account literally got to like negative $900. This is earlier this year in San Diego. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay rent. I don't know. I haven't been able to get a job. Stuff isn't happening. And I just kept getting to play more and to trust, and that a miracle was coming. And then one day, about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks after getting that download, my dad texted me and asked me if I'm okay. And I told him what was going on. And I was like, I think I'm meant to come home. Like, because here's the thing. When things like this happen, this also happened to me in 2019 when I lost what I thought was my dream apartment, which I will talk about that on the next episode. Might not be the next one, but the one I keep referring to, my story of losing everything. The universe is trying to tell us something if we're just not getting it ourselves. So because I went through that experience in 2019, I was like, I remember this. I let myself get evicted from that apartment back in 2019 because I'll talk more about that specific story, like I said in that episode, but things weren't working there either after trying so many things. So I was like, I think I'm meant to come home, but I don't know how. And my dad was like, we'll buy your plane ticket. Literally 2 days later, I left. And I saw 11:11 on the timer as I said that, and I'm getting chills everywhere. And that's the other thing, is we have to fucking release the how of how the money comes, or whatever it is that you're praying for and manifesting. Because things get dismantled for a reason. Again, you are not being punished. You have not gotten anything wrong. I literally went from the girl who quit my corporate job at 25, made 6 figures, became debt-free 2 times actually, lived all over the world, to now being in my 30s. And I've been back at my parents' temporarily off and on the last few years. And none of it was meant to punish me, although I used to think that it was. But all the tools that I now teach you and teach in my programs are what have changed everything for me, because now I know that everything I had been praying for, and I'm getting chills everywhere as I say this, I have known since 2015 that I was going to have my own business at one point. That was when I was still doing network marketing. I finally started my own business in 2019. But I had known since 2015 that I have a big purpose. I'm meant to help a lot of people. I've been through so much fucking shit in my life and overcome and transformed and alchemized so much fucking shit the last 15 plus years that I know I'm meant to teach other people how to do this too, because it's not just in one area of life, it's like multiple areas of life. So when I was praying, please help me to be able to help the masses, all of the people, as many people as possible, however many people I'm meant to help, God. When I said that prayer, this dismantling and loss has actually been part of that process so that I could do that. And I didn't plan on talking about all of this in this episode, but I feel like someone out there needs this message today because I keep getting chills everywhere. I would have never been able to coach people at the level that I am now, or help as many people that I have helped this year, or that I'll help in the future, if I wouldn't have gone through all the fucking shit that I've been through the last 5 years. You are not a failure. You're exactly where you're meant to be. That just keeps coming through. I literally made a video, I think it was titled that, back in like 2021, which was my first year after living in Hawaii. That was the year when things really just, like, everything was basically gone. You're exactly where you're meant to be. So I went off on a lot of tangents, but how can you look at your situations and refuse to settle, or whatever it is that you are meant to take from these emotions or these things that are happening? The old me, when I dealt with credit card shit in 2019, I fucking freaked out. I felt like a failure. I lost my shit for days, was so down on myself. When I dealt with it again this past Monday, I think I cried for a minute. And I was so proud of myself. And this is also coming through to share. A lot of times when, especially us like spiritual women, are going through these things, we are closing out ancestral cycles. I'm getting fucking chills everywhere. We are the curse breakers. When I learned this, it changed everything for me, and it helped me understand why so much shit has played out in my life the way that it has with all the loss, because like I said, I fucking know how to do this fucking shit. So how can you alchemize what's coming up for you? Even if it's just reframing it, whatever it is. And I will include the link in the comments below this video to my alchemy guide episode so you can refer to that. Just another example of these triggers, of this shit that's coming up. I was feeling so many emotions earlier today about body image stuff. I have these warts on my hands that I haven't been able to get rid of also for the last 5 years. My hair has not been doing what I want it to do, and I've shared triggers about that before many times. I was bullied for my natural hair in high school, so I still to this day, I try to wear it natural sometimes, and other times I always get compliments on it too. And then other times it bugs me. And I was just like sobbing about all these things. Oh, I wish I had different clothes. I wish I had a different house. Like, I'm a bougie little bitch, so I can't help it, but it's like sometimes stuff triggers me if I don't like what's happening. This is also an invitation coming through. Whatever you're going through, it might not look like what you prayed for physically. It doesn't have to just be about what your house looks like or your body or whatever. It might not look like what you've been praying for or what you want. Dang, I lost it. Hang on, there's another part there. It might not look like what you want it to, but it is the preparation grounds for everything that you've prayed for. Everything that you've prayed for. So my body image stuff was an invitation to just love myself more. That's how I reframed it. And there's other things too, like, well, because I kept crying, like, I just want to feel beautiful again. And I know that I am beautiful, but I definitely feel cuter when I have clothes that I like, and I've just been in a clothing funk for a while. So I was like, well, what's a little thing that I could do to, like, feel cuter today? So even though this shit looks fucking crazy, I got these new clips at Walmart the other day, these hair clips, and it looks crazy, but I actually feel cuter wearing my hair like this because I never wear it like that, so it makes me feel like I'm in a new energy. Also, I just like grabbed lipstick, which I didn't put it on, but I was like, well, that could help me to feel cute too. So that's the first bit of all of this, is alchemizing. And I gotta grab this book to read you an excerpt from, with a message from Goddess Kali. So this book is called You're a Goddess. It's by Sophie Bashford. The subtitle is Working with the Sacred Feminine to Awaken, Heal, and Transform. I refer to this as like my goddess Bible. When I had my membership last year, I feel like I referred to this book almost in every single call, which, by the way, I need to leave a note so I can talk about what's happening with my membership at the end, since I decided to shift that. So as I said earlier, Goddess Kali dismantles things for a reason, not meant to punish us. I read this morning and I was just like, I have to read this on this video. Okay. This is what we must... Hang on, let me pause this because I started reading from the wrong place. All right, here we go. With her sacred tools designed for unparalleled physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual metamorphosis, Kali prepares us not only for leaving behind of the old, it is a preparation for new life of previously unimagined scale and depth. Literally what I was just saying earlier about all that I've been through and why it's happened. This is what we must keep firmly in mind when we are under the Kali knife of severance to all past illusions and fantasies of what our lives should look like. We are being radically, holy, and... oh my god, I didn't even realize it said this. We are being radically, holy, and miraculously transfigured into a new version of humanity. A humanity that can hold and progress the feminine qualities of the new golden age and can shift the world from living in fear to living in love. That is like everything we've been talking about. And like I said, when I got this information, it wasn't from this book. I got this book like last year, but I don't even remember when I got the information or who it was from. Sometime in the last few years. It fucking healed everything for me. It changed everything for me. And when things are crumbling down in our life, it's just because it's not authentic to us anymore. So I've gone through that several times this year, even with my business, even though it's done so much better than it has in 4 years. Like I said, I keep realizing, oh, I need to like shift this offering. Oh, I don't want to do readings anymore. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And if you're like me, my energy shifts and changes and grows so quick that it's normal to change shit up all the time. So I want to just talk about one more last thing. I'm going to just pause this real quick. All right, had to go pee. This is, my day is like a perfect example of why things, when they don't work out the way we want them to, why it's meant to be. Because I'm so fucking glad I went out and things I wanted to do earlier today didn't work out because I got the download for this episode, and I strongly know that multiple someone's maybe out there need this message today. And I really hope it helps you. This episode, I'm seeing 2020 on the timer, which is about things manifesting but in divine timing. So let me know how this episode, I'm still going to talk about one more thing, lands with you below. Because I've just felt really called to talk more about these things lately, which kind of ties into the last thing. I wanted to talk more about imposter syndrome and shame that I've personally experienced with business and money because of all the things that I shared with you. That was actually going to be the title of this episode once I got the download last week, but things shifted, and once I started talking about it more on Friday, I shifted, and I was like, well, I still want to talk about this, but I feel like that's not the whole vibe of this message. So I've gone through so much imposter syndrome and shame, like crippling at times. And I finally started feeling better probably the beginning of this year, where a lot of it wasn't there anymore. I shared this in the last episode that as I'm preparing this program to teach entrepreneurs this new way of doing business, there's been these pieces of more imposter syndrome and shame coming up because of all that I've been through. But sharing and being open, I realized was actually the fucking launching pad. It had to happen so that I can teach this program, so that people know what I've been through, so that I'm not carrying around this heavy ass energy, not being in my authenticity, because that's not going to manifest stuff to me. And I was on a call, I'm in this membership called the Wealth Vibe. When the hell was the call? It was for summer solstice on Friday. And I was sharing with her some of the things I've been going through, some of the things I shared here with y'all today. And I said, like, I shared a scary ass vulnerable story on my podcast today, because this was on Friday, the episode I keep referring to that I did last. I was like, I was scared when I did it. I'm still scared. But I felt like it needed to be said. My fucking incense is burning my eyeballs. And she got the download that, like, it was the launching pad. And I'm getting chills as I say that. Again, like, that launching pad, there's literally a fucking plane going off in the background as I said that. You can't make this shit up. And I'm getting chills still. Like I was talking about at the beginning of this episode, everything we're going through is happening to launch us in to all that we've been asking for. And I'm just looking at the last note that I have here. I had a lot of shame last week when I realized I don't really want to do this membership the way that I thought I wanted to. I feel like I need to burn a lot of things down because I've changed things so many times this year, as I shared earlier, and I've realized, wow, I really don't want to do a lot of these things anymore I thought I wanted to do. And I felt so much shame about that because I was like, what are people going to think about me? But here's the thing. Our authenticity is magnetic. Authenticity is magnetic. And there really are no fucking rules in business. Anything, really. Like, yes, there's laws of the universe and these kinds of things. But when everything shifted for me this year, as I keep saying, yes, I've had this financial fuckery going on because of losing my main source of income, but I've also had the most sales that I've had in business in 4 years. All of that shifted for me when I let go of the fucking rules and started doing what was authentically me and not what a mentor told me to do, or not what some social media strategy told me to do, or not the old way that worked for me that got me to 6 figures in business in the past. That's another episode that I have coming up soon to talk more about that. So fuck all the goddamn fucking rules. Why is there a rule that I can't be a badass fucking business coach and share about all this fucking shit that I've been through? Why is that a rule? I share about these things also because I would rather work with a mentor who understands the struggle than someone who's fucking perfect. And there's so much fucking perfectionism on the internet, especially when it comes to like teaching about business and money and like, I posted about this the other day when I posted the last podcast. Like, there's so much fucking stigma around being perfect in business. And I remember when I first started talking about the financial loss I went through after making 6 figures, I felt like it was the end of the world. Doesn't really bother me as much now, although I still feel vulnerable and scared, as I've shared all of these things with you today. But I really, really just feel like more people need to talk about these things. I don't believe we have to share everything that we go through, but I share what I feel called to. And last week I really realized I think there's some things that it's time for me to share more of, and I would have shared more about it if it felt right before, but I was like, I think this is my next level of authenticity. And I'm scared to put this episode up, honestly, but fuck the rules. So, with that being said, I am offering a new program coming up called Divine Feminine Business. I've been talking about this for a while. It's going to start on July 21st. I changed the date. But it's a program for building or rebuilding your business authentically and following your heart and soul and breaking up with all the fucking rules and doing what sets your fucking soul on fire. And I'm going to be doing a free circle live on Zoom on July 7th, 7/7 at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That I'll be teaching. There's different pillars in this program. It's the program that, like I said, shifted everything in business for me this year. I'm going to be teaching, I think it's 6 pillars I have in there. I'm going to be teaching about one of the pillars. Obviously, there's not enough time to talk about all of the things, but I think it's fuck all the rules was the pillar that I decided to teach, because I just see so many entrepreneurs online right now talking about how they're letting go of all the old shit, and that's what we need. That's what we have to do to get to the new, to let go of the old, because the old shit doesn't fucking work anymore. Literally every sale that I made this year wasn't from following a specific strategy. A lot of times it wasn't even what I fucking posted. It wasn't from having this perfect launch plan. I literally didn't do any of the things that I used to do when I made 6 figures. And I tried to do those things for years that made me 6 figures, and they stopped working. And when I just said, fuck all the fucking rules, I'm going to do what feels right to me and not what this mentor said or what this social media rule said, like I said, that's not repetitive. That's what changed everything for me. So we'll talk about fuck all the rules and the free Zoom circle. 7/7, like I said, 1 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be about 30 minutes. I was like, do I have a place to sign up for that yet? I don't. But you can comment below and I'll get you on the wait list. And there is an early bird now if you want into the Divine Feminine Business program, that you get 2 modules from my Spiritual Biz Blueprint program as a free gift. And then I'm opening up a Facebook group community space that you can dive into starting now, immediately, leading up until when it starts on the 21st, that you can ask me questions, all kinds of things. And then, aside from that, I have all other kinds of self-paced courses and classes on manifestation, Divine Feminine, all these things we've talked about today, claiming your power, self-love, intuitive eating. I'm working on putting together a carousel to put on my Instagram page and pin it to the top, where it explains this is what this program is for, this is how long it is, etc. That is on each individual sales page on my website right now, but a friend of mine suggested doing that, and I've been working on that. But you can always reach out to me if you have questions, or if you just want to share your intentions and goals of what you want to manifest, what you're going through, and I can help recommend a program that would be perfect for you. The membership, Goddess Alchemy, that I've been talking about, I've decided to just make, because there was like 6 to 9 classes, I want to say, of prior calls for membership. It's going to be a class bundle now, because I don't feel now is the time to do a live membership. So, and I'm going to add a new bonus to that about alchemy and working with Goddess Kali, and a somatic process that you can do to alchemize shit into gold and to release the old, literally. I forgot that was a thing, so that will be in there, and that is available on my website. I'll link up all the things I talked about in the comments below. I was going to start listing it. You can also reach out if you have any questions, and like I said, I would love to hear how this episode landed with you in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. I'm still scared shitless, but I'm putting this out there. Okay, I love you all so much. I feel guided to read the title of this again. The mess is what creates the miracles. It's time to let go of the old. And remember, like I said at the beginning of this, Allow what's coming up for you. My bangs are driving me crazy because I cut them weird yesterday. Allow what's coming up for you to allow it. I can't word it how it's in my head. Allow it to help you to not settle. Allow it to help you to shift and alchemize it. Don't stay stuck in what's coming up for you, and know that you're not stuck. Know that whatever your 3D reality looks like right now, it does not dictate what is possible for you. And things can change overnight just like that. Like I said it. I wish I could say that. All right. I love you. This is the end. I'll talk to you soon.